This is the Through Line How to Solo, episode 3. And we are soloing specifically on this Brandi Carlile song called The Story. Of course, I hope that the concepts that I'm showing you here are things that you could use for any kind of song, really. And if you're working on a song and having a hard time figuring out how to do this same kind of process on a particular song, mention it in the comments, and maybe we can work on it together and see if we have to adjust the process a little bit. You know, this is not going to work for every kind of song, but should work most of the time. So that's why I'm showing it to you this way. So the first week was, what key are we in and what are the chords of the song? Okay. Second week, we looked at, since the song is in the key of B, I asked you to remind your hands how to play a B major scale in 3 different registers or regions on the guitar. So this is B, the low register. We've got a middle register. So we want to be able to play up and down the major scale in these three different places with no mistakes, and not just low to high, high to low, but also do as I'm doing and improvise. Try to find some little melodies, little ideas. Take an idea and move it to all 3 places. So that was the second week. In this week, I want to talk about triad constellations. Now, I made that up, that term, triad constellation. So if you look for it somewhere else, you're probably not going to find it. But a lot of guitar players will do exactly the thing that I'm about to show you. So if you find another name for it that is easier to remember, that's fine. I think of it as triad constellation. So we're going to look for the chords of the song on the high 4 strings and try to voice lead so that as we change from chord to chord, we're not doing a lot of lateral movement, but we're finding and also I should say, I'm calling this triads, but we're using 4 strings. So there's going to be a doubled note. Here there's 2 F sharps. We've got B, D sharp, and 2 F sharps. Because 4 strings is a good usable range for melody. So that's why I'm doing it that way. I hope it's not confusing that it's triads but 4 strings. Then F sharp, so that's the closest place we can get to F sharp. And then the closest place to G sharp minor is right here. And the closest place to E is here. So if we were going to use that, we could grab these chords. I'll go around again. And you could step outside, you know. Outside of the key, but the notes that are just right around those triad notes. Right. So next we could go here. So that's B, F sharp, G sharp minor, E. And that would be like this. already shot up to the next position, which would be up here. B, F sharp, G sharp minor, and E. So one more time from down low. B, F sharp, G sharp minor, E. Next area, B, F sharp, G sharp minor, E. And then this higher area, B, F sharp, G sharp minor, E. And again, the goal would be to just improvise and try to connect the dots. Once you can do that with no mistakes, as in, not playing notes that don't belong there, not in those triads or not in the scale, then you could get a little bit more focused on the particular notes of the chord that you want to hit. You might want to focus, say, on the third. That's the third of B. Here's the third of F sharp. Third of G sharp. Third of E. There's a third down here also. I'll do that again. Third. Third of F sharp. Third of G sharp minor. So you can go from above them or below them. You can jump to them. There's just different ways of getting at the third. The third is a strong chord tone, so it helps the listener guide. It helps you guide the listener through the chord progression. One more time up here now. Third of B. Third of F sharp. Third of G sharp minor is B. Third of E is G sharp. And so on. You don't always have to do the third, but it's just in a short solo where you have to try to say something in a short amount of time. It's a good place to start. It focuses you, focuses your attention, also focuses the listener. You could try doing the same exercise on the fifth. Here's the fifth. G sharp minor. That's the fifth of E is the note B. Fifth of B is F sharp. Fifth of F sharp is C sharp. Focus on the thirds, you could focus on the fifths. You could think about the top note of each chord trying to kind of move upward. So what I mean is like this. So top note of B, like let's say we'll play the fifth. So that's F sharp. And now on the B, I'll stay So I was trying to get the shape of my solo to climb. So I was going, I started on F sharp, and then when the chord went to F sharp, I stayed on F sharp, and I kind of hinted at the G sharp. And then when the chord changed to G sharp, I had that G sharp. And then when it goes to E, I climbed all the way up to B. So there's this kind of overall moving upward. You could do the same thing moving downward or zigzaggy or whatever, but just be aware that that is something that the listeners are going to hear, even if it's subconsciously. The highest note of each of your phrases starts to form its own kind of melody. Okay? And then, of course, you could do the same thing up in this region, which I didn't do, but you ought to do. So that's my Triad constellations concept. It helps me, rather than just thinking about scales, it reminds my hands, what are the shapes of the chords, and can I, instead of just arpeggiating the chords, I'll use some of the notes in the chords as places to get to step up to them or step down to them or skip around and find my way to them. It just focuses what I'm doing, it brings it into the chord movement, and hopefully, because the chords are part of the fabric of the song, I sound like I'm part of the fabric of the song.